Alright guys, hey, we're going to talk about a couple plays here. I'm going to go ahead and let this run while I'm talking. This is the first play. The subject matter here is more like, um, we hear a lot of fire Satterfield, it's a Satterfield's fault, that is Satterfield's fault. And while I'm going to have my own critique of Coach Satterfield, I always constantly have him defend him before I can even get to the critique because people point to a lot of weird stuff when they're saying, fire Coach Satterfield. This was a play everybody was like, highly, why didn't Spencer get rid of it? And then somebody else comes in and says, well, you had nowhere to go with it. Look, you had somewhere to go with the ball. We're going to see here on this play, and this is the commentary from the replay during the game, and they're pointing out, they're saying, hey, this guy's coming in, he's blitzing here, and Spencer missed up picking up the blitz, but what he's also, will show, is obviously, and what you'll hear the commentator talk about if you're watching is this is the hot route. This is where the blitzer came from, and so this needs to be Spencer's immediate read. This ball should have gone to him immediately. However, he never saw the blitzer because he looked that way. He looked straight to the left. I had somebody bring up, they said, well, his progressions probably started from the left. And I mean, it makes sense maybe, I don't know why it would make sense necessarily his progressions will start at left. A lot of his receivers are off here to the right. But even if his progressions were going to start to the left, we're talking about your progressions reading the pass the pass routes. The first thing you have to do is check off the blitzers. You read the line first and see where the pressure is coming from before you go to read your pass progressions. And so let's say that guy was right and Spencer's progressions were to the left. He would have still scanned to the right first if he was doing what he was supposed to look to check the line and then start. That way he's going from right to left, and then wherever his his routes out here that he's looking for. But he just looks straight to the left. He just goes straight to the left. He never scanned the line at all. I mean, just watch again. Watch Spencer's head movement. You can see his head clearly move. He goes straight to the left. He never scans the line. He never scans for pressure at all. He goes straight to looking for a route. Okay, and he's supposed to check other things first. It takes a second for the route to develop anyway. The route wouldn't be developed at this point, as you can see anyway. So why he's looking for a receiver first versus looking for his blitzers first is beyond me. And then if he checks his blitzers first, okay, then he sees the blitzer coming and he knows exactly where he's supposed to go with it to the hot route there, okay? And that's not what happened. Okay, and that's okay. Guys, it's a young QB. He's got a lot to learn. Things are going to happen. This is not a critique of Spencer. This is, I mean, it is a critique of Spencer, but it's not meant for that purpose. This isn't a witch hunt of Spencer Rattler. I love that kid. He is literally my favorite player on the team. His human interest story is greater than anybody's. Everybody's asked that question, like, who are you watching this year? I'm watching Spencer. Okay, I love this kid. I think he's great. He's got charisma. He's got an amazingly talented arm. He can just, it's effortless, guys. When he throws the ball, it's effortless. And that's what everybody sees, and everybody sees the talent in that arm. But that doesn't mean he didn't have a lot of things to learn and develop. And I think he came to South Carolina for that reason. When we watch this play, and you go, oh, okay, well, he needed to check his hot route. He never scanned for his blitz, and he wasn't able to get to his hot route because he didn't check for that. Okay, he went through his progressions poorly. The first progression you always check is the line. I don't care. You can argue with me that all day and say, oh, but you don't know football. That's not true. I know football. I did play football, not to the high level, but I did play football, and I've watched it my entire life. You don't have to play to understand that a quarterback's supposed to check for blitzers before he starts looking down into the coverage. Okay, that's just, that. I'm sorry. If you don't know that, then you're not very knowledgeable of football. Secondly, okay, the thing is everybody's talking about Satterfield. This wasn't a Satterfield issue, okay? There's nothing wrong here with the play calling at all. And, well, I'm going to get into that in a different video, in a different segment. I do have an issue with the play calling here. Okay, but it's not the routes and whether or not it was a too long of a developing route or anything like that. Obviously, it wasn't. There's a guy wide open on an out slant right there. That's the hot route for the play. Okay, and so that's not in question here. All right, Marcus Satterfield's routes and stuff are not in question here. I do have some questioning of the play calling. Like I said, I'm gonna do a separate video on that because it's also I'm gonna feature some stuff with Jaheim Bell and other things going into that one. Right now we're concentrating on these two plays, and I'm going to go to the next one so we can go ahead and discuss. All right, and the next one was here. Okay, going into halftime, we're looking to get some points. And Spencer throws a pick here. Okay, I heard this was once again Satterfield's fault. Online, you hear fire Satterfield over this play. It's like, see, look, there was nothing here. Now, guys, look. Here's a real issue, and let's look at this. Okay, I'll let the video reset. Okay, let's break down this play a little bit. All right, let's watch. All right, what we have going on with Spencer. All right, boom, he does his drop back. Okay, now he's gonna see the little hop backs there. He's still going back, and you'll hear the commenters saying, "Well, he threw it off his back foot because he's being pressured." But the reality is, he was already just backpedaling. The reality is, if he'd have been stepping up right here, he could have potentially stepped up into the pocket so that his O lineman here could make a play on the defender. Okay, the angle that where Spencer is standing dictates what his O lineman can do, and because Spencer's so far back here, that defender here just kind of continues to wrap around the outside of the O lineman, and he can't get back in. Now, if Spencer starts to step up right here, potentially the protection stays. However, let's say he doesn't or whatnot. He could have scrambled out. There was an alley here he could have scrambled to. We didn't really want to scramble in 3rd and 12, but there's a lot of options, okay? Take out everything else. Let's say, it was going to be really hard for Spencer to step up here. It wasn't, but hey, let's say it was, all right? At this point, there's no reason Spencer's really throwing off his back foot, okay? He could step into this throw. He might take a little shot. I mean, he took some of a shot, but he could have taken a little bit more of a shot, okay? He could have ended up taking a little bit more of a shot there, right? And because, I mean, look how much space he has before that ball's in the air. So if he'd have stepped into that throw just a little bit and been aiming for back here, versus a pass that was short, he had one-on-one with Stockner out here. This could have been a touchdown, guys. And this is not a Satterfield issue. Okay, and I have no problem with the play call here. There was no problem with the routes. There was no problem with the play call. Now, going back to the other play, I said, yeah, there's some issues there. I had some issue with the overall, just the play calling itself was, for me in the other sequence is something I'm going to bring up as an issue I have there, maybe with Satterfield. But the plays themselves and what happened on the plays, these were clearly on Spencer, and it's like nobody wants to say, oh, this was on Spencer. This was on Spencer. I mean, these were 2 plays on Spencer, and that's okay. Guys, it's okay that Spencer made a mistake, okay? It's not okay to blame the OC and ask for the offensive coordinator's job because Spencer made a mistake, okay? That's crazy, all right? I'm not going to say, hey, Marcus Satterfield maybe is the guy or isn't the guy. This isn't the argument right here. I'm going to have that in a whole separate session. We can talk about that separately. Okay, we can talk about Marcus Satterfield mistakes. But when you're going to point fingers, have some explanation of why you're pointing to this play or that play as a reason to fire Marcus Satterfield. Okay, when you go and break the play down, these weren't on Marcus. So just be patient with our people. Be patient with Spencer. Be patient with the process, guys. I mean, there's so much more I can say about this, but I don't want to extend this video out crazy or anything. It's just you can't point fingers where they don't belong pointed. Point this finger at Spencer. Point some finger somewhere else at the right time. I got plays on. I got plays. Where Lloyd just was like, I was like, whoa, Juju. I mean, everybody makes mistakes, guys. Okay, everybody's gonna make mistakes, and it's okay to say that the player made a mistake versus having to always try to point fingers at the OC. Okay, this was not an OC issue right here. All right, and we'll get into it more about the OC in my next video.